Starting off our list today at number 10, we have Mod Sun. So imagine waking up one morning and realizing your fiance isn't in bed with you, and when you go to your notifications on your phone, you realize that she is now with Tyga. Well, this is exactly what happened to Mod Sun. With Mod speaking out about his relationship woes, it turns out that he was really as blindsided by Avril Lavigne's relationship with Tyga just as much as the media is making it sound like. So if you haven't been following last week's shocking reports that started to hit the internet and media outlets stating that Avril had called off her engagement to Mod Sun, now there really wasn't much information as why this happened, but things got even more complicated when you factor in that Avril was spotted out with Kylie Jenner's ex-boyfriend Tyga just before she broke things off with Mod. And now there's a lot of speculation surrounding the idea that Avril cheated on Mod, as she's now been seen kissing Tyga and holding hands with the rapper in public. Who would have thought in 2023 we would see Tyga move on from Kylie Jenner and get with Avril Lavigne, and then see Mod Sun cry about how he's so heartbroken. Number 9, Selena Gomez. So back in 2016, Selena Gomez had a pretty savage moment with her on and off ex-boyfriend Justin Bieber. Just after Justin started his new relationship with Sofia Richie, when he posted a photo on Instagram of the two, Justin's fans hit the comment section where they started to get pretty savage. It got to the point where Justin even had to take to his social media account to say, "I'm gonna make my Instagram private if you guys don't stop this hate. It's getting out of hand, and if you guys are really my fans, you wouldn't be so mean to people that I like." The situation then escalated further when his followers noticed that Selena had posted a comment on the picture of Justin and Sofia as well, when she went on to say, "If you can't handle the hate, then stop posting pictures of your girlfriend, lol. It should be special between you two only. Don't be mad at your fans, they love you." Justin then went to clap back by saying, "It's funny to see people that used me for attention and still try to point fingers this way. All love." Selena then came out to expose the sorry singer by implying that he had cheated on her by saying, "Funny how the ones that cheated multiple times are pointing fingers at the ones that were forgiving and supportive. No wonder fans are mad, sad, all love." So Hailey should probably watch out. Number 8, Miley Cyrus. 2023 has so far been a big year for Miley with the release of her newest album, Endless Summer Vacation. I don't think any of us were really ready for her hit single Flowers, which is featured on the album, where she drops some major Easter eggs, all while shading her ex Liam Hemsworth. So it got to the point now that he's actually suing Miley for smearing his name. With fans drawing connections between the lyrics and her relationship with her ex-husband, it is clear that Miley really all wanted us to know the tea. As not only did the Wild Child drop the song on Liam's birthday, but she also dissed the song that Liam dedicated his last dance to at their wedding. But she also wore a suit that Liam wore to a red carpet where he told her to behave, and she also filmed the video in a house where he apparently brought 14 other women to so he could cheat on Miley with. There's also this gold dress that resembles a picture of what Jennifer Lawrence once wore on the red carpet one time, and it's speculated Miley wore this dress to address the rumors that Liam cheated on her with Jennifer. And considering that Jennifer once said in an interview that she had kissed Liam when they weren't on set, the rumors are just true. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Number 7, Megan Fox. Back in February, Megan Fox had us all asking some major questions when she deleted her Instagram account just after she shared a post on the social media platform that hinted at a possible breakup with MGK. And in the post, she may or may have not hinted that the rapper had cheated on her when she posted a series of photos of herself and a video of an envelope being burned in a fire pit where she paid tribute to Beyonce's 2016 album Lemonade, when she wrote, "You can taste the dishonesty." She then went on to unfollow everyone and went on to follow Timothée Chalamet, Eminem, and even Harry Styles. Also, just before she deleted her account, one fan started to suggest that Kelly was unfaithful in the couple's relationship, writing, "He probably got with Sophie," to which Megan responded by saying, "Maybe I got with Sophie." When Megan did finally come back to Instagram, she did try to deny that MGK cheated on her, but since both have been unseen and quiet on the issue, and it's even been revealed that they may not be together today. So do we think that MGK really cheated on Megan Fox? And if he did, why would he cheat on her with his guitarist when she's not even that attractive? Like, look at Megan Fox. Number 6, Jennifer Aniston. So this story goes all the way back to the 90s, while Jennifer was still dating Brad Pitt. The two by the 2000s were officially married, and they seemed to be like a dream come true. Sadly enough, soon rumors would start to say that Brad Pitt had cheated on his wife, and later on, it would be revealed that this rumor was actually true, as Brad got involved with Angelina Jolie, while he was still married to Jennifer Aniston. The worst part about this whole controversy is that Jennifer once even had an interaction with Angelina, and they even exchanged pleasantries about the latter working with her now ex-husband. As she told Angelina, "Brad is so excited about working with you. I hope you guys have a really good time." But clearly Angelina took "have a really good time" part a little too literally. Then Jennifer Aniston would come out to confirm that the rumors were true by stating that she was devastated by Brad's actions. But honestly, Brad's probably kicking the air right now on the fact that he even left Jennifer Aniston for Angelina Jolie because she turned out to be an utter nightmare. Number 5. Emma Thompson. In an interview back in November, Emma Thompson would sit down with The New Yorker where she would open up about her painful divorce from her former husband Kenneth. Emma and Kenneth first met when they were co-starring in BBC's Fortunes of War, and then they got married by 1989. And they were even said at this time to be a golden couple of the century by the British press until they eventually split. In an interview, Emma would expose how she came to learn that Kenneth was cheating on her. The actor and filmmaker was ultimately having an affair with Helen Bonham Carter, who played his love interest in the 1994 Mary Shelley's Frankenstein at the time. Kenneth had directed and starred in the movie as Victor Frankenstein, while Carter played his adoptive sister and fiancé. Emma then went on to explain that she was blindsided when it came to light about Kenneth's affair, and she was extremely heartbroken by his actions, as they made her feel half alive at one point in time. Number 4. Jennifer Garner. At one point, Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck had one of the most dreamiest stories of their time, but like all good things, it came to an end. When the couple finally called off their marriage, it was apparently due to several reasons, but the major issue was because Ben was having an affair with the couple's nanny. In 2016, Jennifer even went public with the allegations in a magazine interview where she confirmed that the rumors were true. In an interview with Vanity Fair, Jennifer would say, "Let me just tell you something. We had been separated for months before I ever heard about the nanny. She had nothing to do with our decision to divorce. She was not part of the equation. But she full on had to be, because how do you get blindsided by your husband sleeping with a nanny until after you get divorced? Something just seems fishy about all that." In the end, Jennifer would then open up about how people shouldn't attack her ex-husband for his mistakes. As she said, "People have pain, do regrettable things, they feel shame. Shame equals pain. No one needs to hate him for me. I don't hate him." Number 3. Beyonce. Not only did Beyonce expose her husband for cheating on her in her album Lemonade, but she would also hint at her husband's cheating scandal in her new tracks of her new album Renaissance. When the singer finally released her long-awaited 7th studio album, which featured 16 tracks including the summer anthem Break My Soul, in multiple songs Beyonce would reference her relationship with husband Jay-Z. Now, Beyonce first spoke about her husband's infidelity back in 2016 when she released the song Becky with the Good Hair. But now Beyonce has hinted at who this woman may be with the track of Alien Superstar, where she sings, "I'm one of one, I'm number one, I'm the only one. Don't waste your time trying to compete with me. No one else in this world can think like me. I'm twisted, contradicted, keep him addicted." So who do you think Becky with the good hair is? And let us know in the comments below. Number 2. The Weeknd. Just after Selena Gomez called off things with her ex Justin Bieber, she shortly entered into a relationship with The Weeknd. But just a few months of dating, the couple would call it quits, and The Weeknd would even reveal some pretty dark reasons on why the couple ultimately called things off. But just one day before the news of The Weeknd and Selena's split came to light, Selena was actually spotted having breakfast with her ex-boyfriend at the time, Justin Bieber. And many people then started to believe that Selena's one-on-one time with Justin was the major factor that led to her breakup. And it would be hinted in The Weeknd's song Call Out My Name that Selena did in fact cheat on The Weeknd with Justin. But we already knew this, as it was revealed that when Selena got back with Justin, The Weeknd started dissing Justin and Selena at the same time, and he wouldn't have done that if she didn't cheat. And coming at number 1 today, we have Shania Twain. The fact someone even had the balls to cheat on Shania Twain really has no idea on how bad they actually messed up. But to actually think this rocking country star was even cheated on by her then husband Robert with her best friend, who was also married to a man at the time, is actually truly saddening. As who sleeps with your best friend's husband and even lives to tell the tale? Shania would then tell AARP about how she felt about the whole ordeal when she said, "It's twisted, but so beautifully twisted. Sometimes I get overwhelmed coping with things, but experience also teaches you how to manage. When you get older, you have so much experience at falling and getting up. You're not going to stop falling, but you will get better at getting up and bruising yourself off. I believe that, I've lived that." It turns out that Shania then ended up falling in love with her best friend's ex-husband, and later on they would also get married.
Number 10. Kim and Drake. Drake is a famous Canadian rap artist, and I've heard he's got a pretty stellar candy room in his mansion. Sounds pretty fun. Recently, Drake dropped a song called Search and Rescue, now available on Spotify. Halfway through the track, the music cuts out and a voice clip of Kim Kardashian and her mother Kris from an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians begins to play. The intention was to throw shade at Kanye West, whom Drake has had problems with in the past, but it only added fuel to the rumor fire surrounding his alleged affair with Kim during her marriage to Kanye. In the clip, Kim says, "I don't come this far just to not be happy. Remember that." On top of this, many fans have brought up Drake's lyrics from his song In My Feelings, claiming that Kiki is actually Kim herself. Hardcore internet sleuths sifted through his lyrics and discovered that if you take the directions that he's rapping about in the song and start at Drake's house in LA, it actually takes you directly to Kim's front gate. Coincidence? I think not. Number 9. Kendall and Bad Bunny. Not long ago, Kendall Jenner was dating a basketball player from the Phoenix Suns named Devin Booker. Devin and Kendall were together for over 2 years, first getting together in 2020. However, in 2022, the couple had a quiet breakup that left fans wondering what really happened to end what seemed to be such a strong relationship. Well, it turns out there may have been another man. Or a bunny, if you will. I'm just gonna show myself out, jeez. Bad Bunny is a popular rapper, singer, songwriter, and now actor, after briefly starring in last year's action comedy Bullet Train as the Wolf. In March of this year, Bunny seemingly dissed Kendall's ex, Booker, in his track Coco Chanel. He rapped, "The sun in Puerto Rico is hotter than in Phoenix." And a few weeks following the song's release, Kendall introduced Bunny to her horse, Arizona, in California. Oh, that's so cute, you named it Arizona. The couple are officially together. Let's see how long this one lasts. Number 8. Devin Booker and Kendall Jenner. Jenner and Booker were first spotted together on a double date with other people. At the time, Booker was dating Kylie's best friend, Jordyn Woods, and Jenner was dating Ben Simmons. In February of 2019, it was revealed that Booker and Woods' relationship had fizzled out, but not long after the announcement, Woods was caught kissing Khloe Kardashian's boo, Tristan Thompson. Yeah, this is just gonna be very messy. Kardashian and Thompson split, and with that, Kylie's friendship with Woods was gone. But what that meant was that Kendall and Devin were free to do whatever they wanted. It was confirmed they were seeing each other after multiple sources caught them road tripping together over the summer of 2020. They were together for roughly 2 years before calling it quits in 2022, taking a break to figure out if their future together was actually meant to be. They got back together, but ultimately ended things on good terms in November of that same year. Number 7. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet. Timothée Chalamet is slowly building his acting repertoire in Hollywood, and so far it's going pretty well. He starred as the lead in Dune, and he was recently announced to be playing a young Willy Wonka in a TV series chronicling Wonka's rise to glory. It was also recently announced that he was seeing Kylie Jenner like every week. While the announcement of them being a couple is a little out of nowhere, the fact is that Kylie has been co-parenting her 2 kids with Travis Scott, and Travis did not appreciate the secrecy. He said that he felt blindsided by the announcement, but he respects her decision to move on romantically. This relationship isn't all that recent, however, it was reported that the two may have shared a private moment or two during her marriage to Scott. Neither party have confirmed nor denied the rumors, but just seeing these two in a picture together makes us think that there is no way this relationship is that fresh, right? Number 6. Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson was the youngest cast member on Saturday Night Live when he was hired at the age of 20. He was the youngest cast member of all time. In 2021, Kim Kardashian hosted an episode of the show and starred in a sketch with Pete, parodying A Whole New World from the Disney film Aladdin. The sketch was It was okay, but apparently sitting that close to each other all week really got them going. At the time, Kim was still involved with rapper Kanye West, who actually attended the live show, but apparently stormed out of the room following her scene with Pete. Apparently, Kanye had been present at rehearsals all week, and he remembers regularly seeing Pete and Kim smiling and laughing together while he was being ignored entirely. Kim and Kanye began their divorce process not long after that show, and simultaneously, Pete announced that him and Kim were official. They were only together for about a year, but it was enough time for Pete to get close to her family and even get a tattoo of her kid's name on his arm, which sounds hardcore, but he has like a million tattoos, so it's probably jammed between like a skull and an MGK portrait. Who knows? Number 5. Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker. Travis Barker is the drummer of the popular band Blink-182. Travis and Kourtney met after Barker had spent some time with the Kardashian crew at her mom Kris Jenner's house in California. Following the official news of their relationship, many fans were quick to comment on the short time between her relationship with Barker and that of her ex-boo, Luka Sabbat. According to Kris herself, Travis and Kourtney began flirting while she was still seeing someone. Their connection was so strong from the beginning, but unfortunately that meant the end of one relationship but the start of a new one too. Kourtney appears to be very happy with the Blink-182 drummer, and Luka doesn't seem to have any issues with them being together, so I guess this is a cheating scandal with a happy ending. For now. Number 4. Kim and Kanye. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West started dating in 2012 and they were officially married 2 years later in 2014. During their marriage, life was rocky to say the least. While Kim was fairly tame for the most part, as we all know, Kanye was slowly having a mental breakdown. He was posting hate speech and racially fueled tweets and constantly sharing his political views as well as publicly backing Donald Trump. Is it really any surprise that Kim found comfort in another man's arms? While hosting Saturday Night Live in 2021, Kim met Pete Davidson, previously mentioned, while still married to Kanye. Kanye discovered that Kim and Pete began dating following the live show, and it seemed to be the final breaking point. Apparently only a few months before the show, Ye and Kim were constantly arguing about everything. And following the divorce, Kim revealed that she would constantly be trying to help Kanye understand why his views and his words were just so wrong. She wanted him to get better, but instead he doubled down and filed for a divorce. Kim is now happily single and received joint custody of her 4 kids, so it's a win-win for the Kardashian clan, and for Kanye, well, Number 3. Tyga and Kylie Jenner. Michael Ray Stevenson, known professionally as Tyga, is an American rap artist with a long list of bops under his belt. In 2011, he was asked to perform at Kendall Jenner's Sweet 16, and her sister Kylie was smitten. The two would keep in contact over the years, but rumors of them being a couple were shot down constantly until 2012, when he broke off his relationship with fiancée Blac Chyna, also a rap artist. It appeared that the split was due to the revelation that Kylie and Tyga were in fact an item. Tyga looked to Twitter to defend his actions, telling people not to believe the rumors. He's been friends with the family forever, they're all just friends. A year later though, they posted a photo on Halloween of themselves wearing a couple's costume, Chucky and the bride of Chucky. A couple of years went by and the pair were constantly seen together on dates, posted several pictures together on Instagram, and Tyga even bought her a Ferrari on her 18th birthday. They eventually split, and Kylie has moved on a couple of times with her next partner, Party Next Door, who is a person, that is a terrible name, even posting a photo on Instagram comparing his watches to Tyga's and claiming that the more diamonds the better. Alright boys, let's not stand around all day comparing watch sizes. Number 2. Kim Kardashian and Ray J. In this case, Kim was the staff that had the affair. You see, herself and the rap artist shared a 3-year relationship, but they met before Kim was famous while she was working as a stylist for his sister Brandy. At the time they met, Kim was still married to Damon Thomas, but apparently wasn't too happy with the relationship. She took part in an affair with Ray J and called it off with Thomas. During their time together, a certain tape was released online without Kim's permission, and the content contained explicit material of herself and Ray J doing the nasty. She sued the company that released it for $5 million to retrieve the rights and own the film. Following the release of the tape, their relationship quickly crumbled, and it was later revealed that both parties were cheating the entire time. And despite them having the knowledge of that, they just, they didn't care. They just kept doing it. Number 1. Kris Jenner and Robert Kardashian. Mama Kris Jenner met Robert Kardashian at a horse race in California in 1973, and immediately sparks flew. At that time, Kris was in a committed relationship with Cesar Sonato, a pro golfer. He was often often gone so long that there were gaps in their relationship, and Robert filled that gap. Chris began an affair with Robert that lasted for quite some time until one day Caesar returned home early and walked in on the couple doing the no pants dance. Needless to say, Caesar broke it off with Chris right away, but Robert also broke things off with Chris, claiming that she wasn't mature enough for a serious relationship. Yeah, no duh, dude. Robert was basically a mistress. He wasn't much more mature himself. He began dating Elvis Presley's daughter, but that relationship failed too, and Robert ended up returning to Chris's arms. They were married for a little over a decade when Chris proved that she had not matured at all. She took part in another affair, and this time it was with soccer player Todd Waterman. Robert hired private investigators after becoming suspicious of Chris, and he was proven right. So if there's anything to take away from this video is if you think your partner is cheating, you're probably right. People are horrible now.
Number 10. Nick Young. In March, a secretly taped video from Lakers player D'Angelo Russell hit the internet, which showed Nick Young admitting to cheating on then fiancée Iggy Azalea. He claimed that it was false, and she believed him, even going on the Ellen DeGeneres show shortly afterwards to assure everyone that things were good between them. But their relationship soon crumbled when Iggy caught Nick on a security camera bringing back girls into their home. He didn't even have the decency to go someplace else, although that would have been just as bad. She announced the split on Instagram. Quote, "Unfortunately, although I love Nick and have tried to rebuild my trust in him, it's become apparent in the last few weeks I am unable to. Nick, on the other hand, just simply tweeted the word single. To add insult to injury, it later came out that he was also expecting a baby with his ex-girlfriend Kiana Green, and the baby was definitely conceived while the former couple were still together." Number 9. Jesse James. Sandra Bullock and Jesse James married in 2005, and throughout the first few years of their marriage, they looked happier than ever as they attended red carpet events together. The host of Monster Garage supported his successful wife as she won countless awards thanks to her incredible talents as an actress. But it was soon uncovered that Jesse had been cheating on Sandra Bullock for a long time with multiple women, which led him to become, by his own admission, the most hated man in the world. He eventually checked into rehab for sex addiction, and Sandra swiftly filed for divorce in 2010. But the kicker is that he never showed any real remorse for cheating on her with countless women. In an interview 7 years later, he said that he had no regrets about the affair, and went on to say, quote, "Yeah, I did cheat on my wife. Yeah, I stood up and took accountability for it and apologized, and that's the end of the story." In general, both women and men cheat, it's a part of life. What an absolute Prince Charming. Number 8. Scott Disick. This decade-long romance was very well documented on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and although fans loved Scott's quick-witted, snarky humor, it was obvious that he had trouble remaining committed to Kourtney. The pair eventually called things off for good after Scott went on a party binge just weeks after the birth of their third child together, and photos of him getting close with other women surfaced online. Pictures emerged of Scott and his ex-girlfriend Chloe Bartoli getting pretty cozy while on vacation. The two broke up after this incident but continued to have a rocky relationship. First, her sister Kim caught a girl hiding in Scott's bathroom in Dubai, and finally the eldest Kardashian invited Scott on a family vacation to Costa Rica. He ended up sneaking a girl into his hotel room, and while he was trying to reunite with his ex. The final incident is what prompted Kardashian to tell Scott they were never ever getting back together. Number 7. Kristen Stewart. The Twilight movies were some of the biggest successes of our time, and at the center of all the media frenzy surrounding the film was Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart, the two co-stars who began a relationship during filming. Fans were absolutely obsessed with the then It couple, but everything really changed when paparazzi pictures were leaked in 2012 of Stewart and Rupert Sanders making out. He was the director of Snow White and the Huntsman, which she also starred in. The shocking photos of Christian kissing another man circulated everywhere, and fans were rightfully heartbroken. I mean, literally everyone had an opinion, including Donald Trump for some reason. Sanders tried to do some serious damage control by calling the kiss a momentary lapse. Christian also had to publicly apologize to Robert, but it didn't really help because the two broke up soon after. And the two reconciled for a time but eventually broke up again. Safe to say that their relationship never really recovered. But several years later, in an interview, the actress insisted that it wasn't an actual affair, but because of the intense media scrutiny at the time, she didn't see the point in denying it. Number 6. Jada Pinkett Smith. Although the Smiths themselves wouldn't call it cheating, the rest of the world was shocked when Azlina spoke about a relationship he had with Pinkett Smith during an interview in 2020. Quote, "I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life. I truly and really felt deeply in love and have a ton of love for her." He also revealed that Will Smith knew about it the whole time and had even given them his blessing. Though Jada initially denied the claims, she eventually confessed to being in an entanglement with August when she and her husband were separated. "We decided we were going to separate for a period of time, and you go figure out how to make yourself happy and I'll figure out how to make myself happy." They both went on the Red Table Talk together, and in a heartbreaking episode, Jada told Will how she came to be romantically involved with August, and how he made her feel special because of what was lacking in their relationship at the time. Will took the whole thing like a champ, but the clip went viral online because he looked like he was on the verge of tears the whole time Jada was talking. It was just an all-round shocking moment. Number 5. Robin Thicke. 2013 was really not the greatest year for the Canadian-American singer. His hit song Blurred Lines was criticized for being what is now called lyrically problematic, not to mention his notorious performance with Miley Cyrus at the 2013 Video Music Awards, where she first started twerking. But what really hurt his relationship was when rumors began swirling about him possibly cheating on his wife of 9 years, Paula Patton. A photo surfaced of Robin with his hand on a woman's backside while they were attending a party. The trouble was that there was a mirror right behind him revealing exactly where his hand was, and it didn't look good. But instead of explaining his behavior, he said, quote, "My only comment about the so-called scandalous photo would be that my wife and I are perfectly in love and very happily married." He went on to call Paula his greatest love of the century and the most functional, dysfunctional marriage in Hollywood. Well, he might have got that last part right. Paula filed for divorce a year later and even filed a restraining order in 2017, alleging that he was physically and emotionally violent towards her. Number 4. Ryan Phillippe. The actor first met Reese Witherspoon while starring alongside her in the 1999 movie Cruel Intentions. They actually fell so in love with each other that they ended up getting married that same year. But all good things must come to an end, especially Hollywood romances. In 2008, Ryan started to get closer to his co-star, Australian actress Abbey Cornish, while they were filming Stop Loss. The two of them seemed to be so comfortable being seen in public together that they were eventually caught having dinner together in a Texas restaurant, despite the fact that there were some curtains around the table. They were also caught together again just outside of Ryan's apartment. The affair was so in your face it just wasn't funny. But it wasn't until Reese Witherspoon discovered intimate text messages back and forth that were being exchanged between the two of them on his phone. Then it was clear that after 7 years of marriage and 2 children, Reese was ready to call it quits with Ryan, and later went on to marry talent agent Jim Toth, whilst Ryan and Abby's love affair eventually lost its spark. Number 3. LeAnn Rimes. This affair was not exactly unique. In fact, it's a story so common in Hollywood that it borders on cliche. Actors LeAnn Rimes and Eddie Cibrian were co-stars who met on the set of a Lifetime movie called Northern Lights. They immediately hit it off and the flirting began. But the kicker was that they were both already married at the time to other people. But hey, in classic Hollywood fashion, they didn't let that stop them, and not long after meeting, they were photographed having dinner together, and the rumor mill did the rest. After extreme press coverage of the affair, both LeAnn and Eddie decided to make it official and separated from their respective spouses, all to be with each other. They eventually ended up tying the knot in 2011. But the story doesn't entirely end there, and a few years later, Eddie was caught cheating on LeAnn at Wendy Williams' 50th birthday party. But she claimed she's unfazed by the whole thing and does not seem to mind the fact that he flirts with other women. You know what they say, sometimes how you get them is how you lose them. Number 2. Kevin Hart. This comedian and actor unfortunately has a long history of messing around behind his partner's backs and not really caring enough to hide the fact that he was doing so. I mean, the comedian even incorporated the story of cheating on his first wife into his 2013 special, Let Me Explain. Even though he tried to make it seem as though the experience made him change and grow as a person, it wasn't long before the same scandal arose yet again. 4 years after the special aired, he publicly admitted to cheating on his second wife, Eniko Parish, while she was pregnant with his son. Now he is somehow using this new story in his new Netflix docuseries Kevin Hart Don't F It Up, where he has his wife talk about how she found him cheating. Quote, "How I found out was a DM. I don't know who it was, they sent me an edited video of Kevin and another woman." But she went on to say that she does believe in second chances and that she's all about forgiveness, and adding that 3 strikes and you're out, which everyone can agree is way more than fair. Number 1, Tristan Thompson. Buckle up because this one is pretty crazy. In 2018, photos of Tristan having an affair surfaced online while he was dating Khloe Kardashian. And get this, she was 9 months pregnant. Then, if you thought that was bad, not long after, TMZ came out with a video footage dating back to October 2017 that showed the NBA player kissing 2 other random women at the club. But despite the fact that there was now hard evidence of Tristan cheating on Khloe without really attempting to hide it, they decided to stay together for the birth of their child. But things did not stay smooth forever, as in 2019, reports surfaced that Tristan had cheated on Khloe once again, this time with none other than Jordyn Woods, who was a close friend of the family, Kylie Jenner's best friend and roommate. Anonymous party attendees told TMZ that the pair were all over each other and made out several times throughout the night. The explosive incident almost broke up the family entirely, and since then, Jordyn and Kylie severed all ties to each other, and Khloe and Tristan called it quits for good.
Starting us off at number 10 is Marilyn Monroe and John F. Kennedy. There has always been a lot of speculation around this affair ever since rumors started circulating that the president had an affair with Marilyn while he was married to Jackie Kennedy. These rumors heightened after her iconic, sultry performance of Happy Birthday to the President. I don't think we can ever forget that one. For many years, it was all rumors and no confirmation, but in 2013, a biography came out and confirmed these claims to be true. In the biography titled "In These Few Previous Days, the Final Year of Jack and Jackie," it claimed that Marilyn once called Jackie to tell her that John had promised to marry her. The biography also claimed that he was having an affair with multiple women, but Jackie was most concerned about the one with Marilyn because she knew it would cause a huge and very heavily documented scandal. Now, of course, whether the biography is even true, we will never know. So, I guess we take this one with a grain of salt. Moving on to number 9 is Ashton Kutcher and Sarah Leal. Ashton was married to Demi Moore for 6 years at the time that the scandal had unfolded in front of the entire world. His administrative assistant, Sarah Leal, had come forward and alleged that she had intimate relations with him during an interview with US Weekly. Demi spoke about the affair in her 2019 memoir called Inside Out, where she said she found out about the cheating scandal through a Google alert. When she confronted Ashton about it, she said that he admitted to it right away. The heavily documented scandal was the catalyst for the breakdown of their marriage, with the two of them finalizing their divorce in 2013. Ashton never personally addressed the scandal, except for in 2017 when he admitted that his name was splashed around every gossip magazine for being an adulterer. Swiping our number 8 spot is Hugh Grant and Elizabeth Hurley. It is one thing to get caught in a cheating scandal in Hollywood, and it's another thing when it includes someone getting arrested. In 1995, the actor was arrested in Los Angeles for misdemeanor lewd conduct in a public place with a Hollywood sex worker. He was caught having this affair after he paid her to perform acts on him. We'll leave it at that. The actor ended up pleading no contest and paid a fine. But what made matters worse is that he was married to Elizabeth Hurley at the time, so the whole scandal was flooding the media, including his mugshot. But despite the fact that he cheated, she stayed with him for 5 years in hopes to fix their marriage. However, it didn't work out and they split later down the road for good. And spot number 7, we have Tiger Woods and multiple women. Honestly, there's no nicer way of saying it, and the whole scandal included more than 10 different women. It all started in 2009 when the National Enquirer reported that Woods cheated on his wife with a nightclub owner named Rachel Uchitel. I think that's right. Media outlets reported not long after after that, his wife had attacked him with a golf club after finding out the news and finding proof in his phone while he was sleeping. After it was made public, more than 12 women came forward and claimed they had relationships and flings with him, sharing text messages and voicemails as proof. He ended up admitting to his infidelity and issued a public apology. Because of the scandal, he actually lost several endorsements and had to take a break from tournaments. He and his wife got divorced in 2010. Cruising into spot number 6 is Jude Law and Daisy Wright. This affair was one of the biggest ones in Hollywood history. 1, because it was so documented, and 2, because it involved someone close to their family. I am talking about the actor and his fiancée at the time, Sienna Miller. Back in 2004, they were engaged and seemed to be a match made in heaven. But it wasn't long before the scandal surfaced in 2006 and revealed that Jude had been cheating on her with their nanny, Daisy. She was actually the one who came forward with the affair and gave out details of their entanglement, which apparently had gone on for some time. Jude did not bother denying it. He ended up coming clean to the affair and released a public apology to Sienna, saying that he deeply regrets it and that he is ashamed of his actions. Sienna broke off the relationship right away, but then they got back together and tried to rekindle things. It actually wasn't until 2011 that they officially called it quits. Halfway through our list, number 5 is Alex Rodriguez and Madonna. Alex was with his ex-wife Cynthia Skirtis at the time that this scandal blew up in his face. There were multiple rumors going around at the time of infidelity on his end, and one of them was allegedly with Madonna. Why this affair was so shocking was because Madonna was also married at the time and she was denying the claims. It was actually Alex's former trainer at the time, Dodd Romero, who talked about the affair. He claimed that Alex got pulled in by the dark side of Madonna's religion at the time and was totally brainwashed. A friend of Cynthia's also spoke out and said that she told her she found a letter from Alex to Madonna, and in it he told her that she was his true soulmate. In interviews though, Alex always said that he and Madonna were just friends, and that is what they have always claimed, so we really don't know. I don't buy it. Moving into spot number 4 is Meg Ryan and Russell Crowe. Meg was in the prime of her career at the time, being the leading lady of romantic comedies, all while being married to Dennis Quaid. They got married in 1991, but then in 2000 she was exposed for having an affair with her co-star at the time, Russell. They were filming Proof of Life together at the time, and they were spending a lot of time together, which apparently led to this affair. She immediately took the heat for the affair, and everyone was heavily criticizing her to a point where it started to affect her career and roles that she was no longer getting. She tried speaking up about it and said that Dennis had actually cheated on her in their relationship in the past, but that it just was not made public. But people didn't care. She was still the only one to get bad press for it. Her and Dennis finalized their divorce not long later in 2001. Russell Crowe didn't get any freaking heat, eh? Cool, sure. Rolling into spot number 3 is Kristen Stewart and Rupert Sanders. This is by far one of the worst scandals to ever get caught on camera. I remember the pictures being everywhere at the time. It was back in 2011 when Kristen was dating her Twilight co-star Robert Pattinson, and everyone thought they were going to be together forever. Or at least we hoped. I hoped. But then out of nowhere, pictures of her making out with another man were all over the internet and the cover of magazines. The man was Rupert Sanders, who was the director of her movie Snow White and the Huntsman, which is where the two of them met. Rupert was also married at the time to the mother of his children, Liberty Ross, so things were very messy. People were also shocked because he was 41 at the time and Kristen was only 22, so the age gap just surprised a lot of people. Robert and Kristen split immediately, but Rupert and his wife continued to try and work it out. Taking over number 2 is Jesse James and multiple women. Once again, the scandal just involved more than one person, so I can't really pick just one. He got married to Sandra Bullock in 2005, but they went their separate ways just 5 years later in 2010, after he was exposed for cheating. Articles called him a serial cheater, as a handful of women came forward with proof that he was cheating throughout his entire marriage. It all started when In Touch magazine revealed intimate details of his affair with model Michelle McGee. From there, 2 other women came forward sharing their details of having romantic entanglements with him during his marriage. One was an exotic dancer and the other was a photographer. Sandra filed for divorce immediately, and Jesse didn't even bother denying the claims. He actually called it a part of life. He told Daily Mail, I quote, "Yeah, I did cheat on my wife. Yeah, I stood up and took accountability for it and apologized. In general, both women and men cheat. It's part of life." Well, it doesn't have to be part of life. But okay. In the number 1 spot is Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. We could never forget this affair, probably because the two of them went on to get married and create a family together, even though it came from infidelity. Brad was married to Jennifer Aniston at the time, but that did not stop him from cozying up with another woman. He met Angelina on the set of Mr. and Miss Smith in 2004, which is where the two of them got close. A little too close. The affair ended up getting exposed in the public eye, and even though Jen and Brad had split, Brad jumped straight into the relationship with Angelina. Well, because he was already having the relationship. People did not agree with it and even criticized Angelina for bragging about it. During an interview in 2008, she talked to the New York Times saying, "Not a lot of people get to see a movie where their parents fell in love." Well, I hope you also told your kids that their dad was married at the time that you guys fell in love during this movie.
Chance the Rapper and his wife Kirsten Corley took to social media on April 3rd to announce that they're divorcing. They wrote, "After a period of separation, the two of us have arrived at the decision to part ways. We came to this decision amicably and with gratitude for the time we spent together. God has blessed us with 2 beautiful daughters who we will continue to raise together." Chance and Kirsten started dating in 2013 and went on to welcome 2 daughters, Kensley and Marley. As for their marriage, it's apparently been on the rocks for quite some time. Last year, a viral video went around of Chance at the 2023 Carnival in Jamaica, where he was seen grinding with dancers and getting very close to them. As you could probably guess, this led to a lot of backlash on social media. The video had people divided about whether or not he was cheating on Kirsten. It was such a big deal because Chance was pretty much known as a certified wife guy, which is a term for men who publicly praise their wives and brand themselves through their marriages. This is exactly what happened when Chance got married in 2019. He made it his mission to let the world know how happy they are together, but of course we never really know what goes on in relationships. Moving on to Tori Spelling, who filed for divorce from Dean McDermott, her husband of nearly 18 years, on March 29th, just a few weeks shy of what would have been their 18th wedding anniversary. She identified June 17, 2023 as the date of separation due to irreconcilable differences. This is an interesting end for their relationship, considering how they started. Dean and Tori met on set of Lifetime's Mind Over Murder in 2005, only a year after Tori married her first husband, Charlie Shanian. Dean was also married at the time for more than a decade to Mary Jo Eustace, with whom he shares a son. Tori and Dean began cheating on their spouses the night they met. In fact, she wrote about the affair in her 2009 memoir. She said, "It was love at first sight. I fell so hard. Then I noticed he had a wedding ring. When someone asked, he pulled out photos of his children. And oh yeah, I had a husband too." So they ended up spending the night together despite the fact that they were both married. And she said she knew it was meant to be because when she woke up next to Dean the following day and had no regrets. The two of them got married and went on to have 4 children together before yet another cheating scandal rocked the relationship in 2013, this time with Dean and the nanny. So it was always a scandalous relationship no matter how you look at it. Next up we have Dylan Sprouse. The internet was shocked to see this scandal hit Hollywood's golden couple, who've been together for over 6 years. Model Barbara Palvin and actor Dylan Sprouse have been the center of controversy recently thanks to a TikTok that claimed Dylan cheated on his wife during his recent Cannes Film Festival. The anonymous TikToker claims that a prominent young female blogger has bragged about her involvement with him on social media, though without explicitly naming names. And sadly, this is not the first time Dylan has faced accusations of infidelity. His previous girlfriend, Dana Frazier, had publicly accused him of cheating during the relationship, a scandal that ultimately led to their breakup. After that relationship ended, he went on to date and eventually marry Barbara, which led to some people even calling her a homewrecker. And even since then, their marriage has been closely followed by fans who have watched their love story unfold over the course of more than 6 years. The couple tied the knot in a lavish wedding in Hungary last summer, which was widely covered by the media. So it's no surprise that scandal comes as a shocking blow to their loyal fanbase, who've championed their relationship as a shining example of Hollywood romance. Moving on to Sacha Baron Cohen. He and his wife Isla Fisher shared a joint statement to their Instagram story to announce their divorce publicly. They wrote, "After a long tennis match lasting over 20 years, we are finally putting our rackets down. In 2023, we jointly filed to end our marriage. We've always prioritized our privacy and have been quietly working through this change. We forever share in our devotion and love for our children. We sincerely appreciate respecting our family's wish for privacy." After the two of them announced they were ending their marriage, an insider claimed that Sacha had been talking to divorce lawyers in the summer of 2023. Apparently, it wasn't the first time they explored a possible split, because they also reached out to divorce lawyers several years ago. So whatever their issues, they have been going on for quite a while. Sacha and Isla first met at a 2001 party in Sydney, years before either of them became famous. They then married on March 15th in 2010. Although they had been together for more than 20 years, it's clear they just couldn't make it work. Next up we have Olivia Wilde. After a 7-year engagement, she and her husband Jason Sudeikis announced that they had separated in November 2020. Like most celebrity couples that live in the public eye, their divorce is very messy, and so is their big public breakup breakup and bitter custody battle over their 2 young children. But it seems like these two are still at each other's throats, which may or may not be due to the fact that Olivia allegedly cheated on Jason with Harry Styles, which is one of the main reasons for their split. In fact, it was heavily implied the two of them had been having an affair for around a month before the breakup, and what made it worse was that Jason reportedly didn't realize it was happening and even brought their children to visit the set. And just last month, when Olivia was presenting on the stage of CinemaCon, the actress and director was faced with a bitter surprise when she was stripped custody papers halfway through her talk. She later told Variety, "I hated that this nastiness distracted from the work of so many different people and the studio that I was up there representing to try to sabotage. That was really vicious." But you know, sadly, it was not something that was entirely surprising to me. I mean, there's a reason I left that relationship, so that really says it all. On to Jada Pinkett Smith. Musician August Alsina brought the Smiths' relationship into the spotlight in July 2020 when he revealed that he was romantically involved with Pinkett Smith and that Will knew about the whole time and had even given them his blessing. Though Jada initially denied the claims, she eventually confessed to being in an entanglement with August when she and her husband were separated. Quote, "We decided we were going to separate for a period of time, and you go figure out how to make yourself happy, and I'll figure out how to make myself happy." Smith said this during an appearance on Red Table Talk in July 2020. They both went on to the talk show together, and in a heartbreaking episode, Jada told Will how she came to be romantically involved with August and how he made her feel special because of what was lacking in the relationship at the time. Will took the whole thing like a champion, but the clip went viral online because he looked on the verge of tears the whole time Jada was talking. Looking back on that moment now, it almost hurts to watch. Next up, we have Gerard Piqué. In June of 2022, Barcelona and Spain football star Gerard Piqué's high-profile marriage to Colombian star Shakira allegedly ended due to his unfaithfulness. A few days later, Shakira and Piqué confirmed that they had in fact called it quits. According to Spanish newspaper Marca, the other woman was 23-year-old Clara Chia, who was dating one of his friends at the time. Piqué was allegedly smitten the first time he saw her, and they exchanged phone numbers and started dating in secret. Now new details have emerged that they may have been cheating on Shakira as far back as 2012 with Israeli supermodel Bar Refaeli, who also happens to be Leonardo DiCaprio's ex-girlfriend. The affair was exposed when Shakira found messages detailing their intimate encounters. When she was asked about Piqué being linked to another woman, she told Elle magazine, "I can only say that I put everything I had into this relationship and my family," and pointed out that although she chose her marriage over her career, sadly it still didn't work out. On to Ime Udoka. Actress Nia Long had been in a relationship with Celtics coach Ime Udoka for well over a decade, and the two share a 10-year-old son. Just 2 weeks before they planned to move their family to Boston, where they were house hunting, Nia learned about his betrayal. It turns out her fiance was having an affair with a married front office staffer. It was Ime who reportedly came clean to the actress about the affair, because news of his infidelity was about to be made public. On September 22nd, the Boston Celtics announced the coach had been suspended for the 2022-2023 season for violating its team rules. Nia then released a statement addressing her heartbreak, saying, "The outpouring of love and support from family, friends, and the community during this difficult time means so much to me." Ime also released a statement saying, "I want to apologize to our players, fans, the entire Celtics organization, and my family for letting them all down. I am so sorry for putting the team in this difficult situation, and I accept the team's decision." Well, that was pretty bad. The next couple also went through a similar situation, although it was a lot more quiet. Around the same time, Emily Ratajkowski filed for divorce from film producer husband Sebastian in Manhattan Supreme Court after 4 years of marriage. Back in July, a source close to the model confirmed that the couple had broken up because of his infidelity. Quote, "He cheated. He's a serial cheater. It's so gross. He's a dog." Although Emily hasn't spoken out directly about her personal life, she's removed both her engagement ring and wedding band and has been photographed without the jewelry for at least 3 weeks. She chose not to trash Sebastian publicly, but instead subtly confirmed the rumors by several tweets, including one, "Finally free from that man just proves that God is actually very real." In truth, everyone was especially surprised that Emily got cheated on given her insane beauty and supermodel status. Pretty soon the internet flooded with women in despair saying things like, well, if Emily got cheated on, then no one is safe. And lastly, we have Adam Levine. The Maroon 5 frontman has been married to his Victoria's Secret supermodel wife Behati Prinsloo for almost a decade. The couple have 2 children together and another one on the way. But that all came crashing down when an Instagram model named Summer Stroh went on TikTok and posted a video called "Having an Affair with a Man Who's Married to a Victoria's Secret Model," which basically is a whole video confessing that they had been in a relationship with Adam Levine for a whole year. She's also come through with a whopping amount of evidence and posted a series of DMs that Adam sent her on Instagram. To make matters even worse, several months after the affair, Adam DM'd Summer out of the blue asking if she'd be okay with him naming his baby after her. This news was perhaps one of the biggest cheating scandals of the year, and so far another 4 women have come out claiming to have been involved with the singer at one point or another.
Number 10. Will Smith. In 2015, Will Smith starred in a film called Focus, in which he plays a con man in the midst of his latest scheme when a woman from his past, played by Margot Robbie, arrives and throws his plans for a loop. The timing of this film being made could not have been more perfect, as we know now that Will and his wife Jada were taking a break at that time. For Jada, this meant an entanglement with August Alsina, weird way to phrase that, and for Will, this meant himself and Robbie were free to rehearse their scenes in private. It was confirmed that Margot and Will were seeing each other during production of Focus, and his wife was not happy about that. Despite being legally married in 1997, the institutionalized concept of tying the knot just never really sat with Jada. So apparently she only married Will because she became pregnant with Jaden and felt that it was the right move to make, which is always a great way to start a marriage. While Jada herself is also a cheater and has publicly admitted it, she has held a grudge towards Margot for 8 years with no signs of it stopping. Will and Jada are still together, but we can all agree that their relationship is the Hindenburg and somebody is gonna light a match. If you don't know what the Hindenburg is, just Google it. Number 9, Kristen Stewart. His skin was pale and cold, and that is how Kristen likes them. As many of us know, Kristen Stewart starred as Bella Swan in the film adaptation of the Twilight book series. She co-starred with Hollywood hunk Robert Pattinson as her love interest slash vampire, Edward Cullen. The on-set chemistry spilled into their real lives after it was announced that the two were a couple and the world stood still. These two together, a match made in heaven. How much more perfect could it be? Well, turns out it could only be worse. Photos of Kristen kissing a man named Rupert Sanders were published by Us Weekly. Sanders is a director and had been working with Stewart on his upcoming project Snow White and the Huntsman. Not only did Kristen cheat on Robert, but Sanders was married to a model and actress Liberty Ross at that time, so he cheated too. She rightfully filed for a divorce in 2013 and has since gone on to marry Interscope co-founder Jimmy Levine. While Stewart's love life has been much better, as she's currently engaged to fellow actor and screenwriter Dylan Meyer, who she met on the set of a film in 2013. Oh, that's so cute. Number 8, Brad Pitt. Brangelina took Hollywood by storm, and when they began their relationship in the late 2000s. What many may not know is that this iconic couple were bred from a disastrous breakup between himself and Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer, best known by me for her role in the 1993 comedy classic Leprechaun alongside Warwick Davis, was actually married to Brad in 2000 after already being together for 2 years. They spent $1 million on their wedding ceremony, which took place in Malibu, and everything seemed to be going well until around 2005, when the couple announced to People magazine that they were going to be getting a divorce. Around the same time, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie were working on the film Mr. and Mrs. Smith together. Rumors began to fly, and Brangelina was born. The couple officially announced their relationship a few months following the divorce from Aniston. They were married in 2014, but unfortunately Brangelina also filed for a divorce 2 years later. The relationship was a flop, but they adopted a bunch of kids and now they have a decent life, so I guess that's something. Number 7, Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. Glenn and Sydney will be sharing a spot on this list as the situations they put themselves in are very similar. You may know Glenn from his role in the recent Top Gun sequel Maverick, and you will recognize Sydney from the hit HBO series Euphoria. These two began filming a rom-com together in Australia earlier this year, and it turns out they got along really well. After being cast to play romantic interests in the film, the two spent so much time together that it would seem their chemistry had blossomed into a full-fledged romance. For a few months, photos of the pair kissing and cuddling both on and off set have been circulating online, and they're adorable. They seem to have a genuine connection instead of some PR forced relationship. It sucks though because they were both seeing someone when they met. Powell has been in a relationship with a woman named Gigi Paris, who is a model, for 3 years, and Sweeney was engaged to a very famous businessman named Jonathan Davino, who she had been dating for 4 years. When they met on set, it was like they stepped into another dimension and their partners didn't exist anymore, so they were free to be whoever they wanted. Of course, photos and rumors began swirling, and in April of this year, Gigi officially announced the end of her relationship to Powell after she discovered the rumors were true and they were in fact a couple. While they may have destroyed their already existing relationships, a new celebrity rom-com couple is sure to rise from their ashes. Number 6, Lindsay Lohan. This one hits home for me as I grew up with a sister around the time that this happened, and she was not having it. Aaron Carter is a musician who was very popular in the late 90s and early 2000s. In 2001, he started dating fellow pop star Hilary Duff, who had just broken onto the small screen with her much-loved comedy series Lizzie McGuire as the titular Lizzie. The couple were together for 2 years until Aaron suddenly decided that he wanted to date Freaky Friday star Lindsay Lohan at the same time as Hilary. Aaron eventually broke up with both girls by the end of 2003, but he accidentally started a feud that appears to have lasted to this day. While both were obviously mad at at Aaron for his part, the young love made them mortal enemies. When Lohan hosted SNL in 2004, she made fun of Hillary on air by getting character actor Rachel Dratch to portray Duff during the cold open of the show. Aaron recently attempted to reach out to both Lindsay and Hillary, but he was denied. Rejected, yeah, you just got rejected. Okay, that's a Zoe 101 reference, but I'm just feeling nostalgic today. Doesn't have to do with Lindsay. Number 5, Kenneth Branagh. You may recognize Kenneth as the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher and the liar from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Gilderoy Lockhart. He met Miss Emma Thompson, the lead of Love Actually, in 1987 while filming the BBC series Fortunes of War, and they were married 2 years later. They were once the most A-list celebrity couple in England's history, collaborating several times during their marriage. Kenneth directed Emma in a long list of projects over the years, but by 1994, their romance hit a major pothole. While filming his movie adaptation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Branagh began a secret relationship, aka an affair, with Helena Bonham Carter, who had previously worked with Emma Thompson in 1992's Howard's End. At the time of the breakup, Kenneth and Emma expressed to the public that they would be splitting simply due to their busy work schedules, but it later emerged that the split was due to Emma having knowledge of the affair, and in 2016, she revealed exactly how her husband's infidelity affected her. She took this moment and used it to inspire her character's story in Love Actually, which has gone on to be one of her best performances to date. After breaking it off with Thompson, Branagh began dating Bonham Carter until 1999. Kenneth later got married to Lindsay Brunick. Thompson married actor Greg Weiss in 2003, and Helena Bonham Carter moved on to the king of the macabre, Tim Burton, and had 2 kids with him before calling it quits in 2014, meaning that she is single and ready to mingle. Number 4, Chad Michael Murray. Many will recognize Chad as the co-star of several rom-coms from the early 2000s, most notably starring alongside Hilary Duff in 2004's A Cinderella Story, which is one of the most underrated movies of all time, by the way, just check it out if you haven't. Chad met a woman named Sophia Bush on set of the series One Tree Hill, in which they play a couple with an on-again, off-again relationship. It turns out their real-life relationship would be just as rocky. The couple actually got married in April of 2005, but ultimately split up only 5 months later. The breakup followed a massive slew of rumors that Michael Murray had an affair with his House of Wax co-star Paris Hilton, and those rumors later were proven to be true. Paris had been dating Backstreet Boy Nick Carter for a few months when those rumors began to circulate, and he later revealed that his brother Aaron was actually the one that found out about Hilton cheating and told his brother what happened. Paris and Murray were never actually a couple, just the reason for several breaking up. Unfortunately, Bush and Murray had to continue working together on One Tree Hill following the split. Oh wow, that must have been just so much fun. Number 3, Debbie Reynolds. A bit of an older entry on this list. We need to address it though. Debbie Reynolds is a well-known Hollywood icon who ran the show during her time on the silver screen. Our younger audiences will recognize her as Grandma Aggie from the Halloween Town series. She appeared in various films over the 60s and 70s, including some alongside her then husband, one Eddie Fisher. Eddie and Debbie were Eddie and Debbie, it rhymes, it's cute. Eddie and Debbie were Hollywood royalty during their marriage. Debbie's friend Elizabeth Taylor was also a Hollywood icon at the time, being the lead lady in films like Cleopatra and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, which is an aggressive title. When Taylor married her third husband, Mike Todd, Debbie was the maid of honor, and Eddie was Todd's best man. Not long after the wedding, Mike passed away in a plane crash, and Debbie and Eddie were there to comfort her. It appeared that Eddie got a little too comfy though, as himself and Debbie split only a few months later due to an alleged affair that Eddie had with Liz. After the split, Eddie and Taylor were married only to get divorced after 1 year. The feud between Taylor and Reynolds was strong until they reconciled in the early 2000s and even made a TV movie together called These Old Broads. Oh, check it out. Number 2, Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan was the rom-com queen of the 90s. She starred in Hollywood hits like When Harry Met Sally alongside Billy Crystal, You've Got Mail with Tom Hanks, and Sleepless in Seattle, again with Tom Hanks. You may be thinking, is Tom the man that she cheated with? Well, no, it was actually Russell Crowe. Russell and Megan were in Ecuador shooting their film Proof of Life when tabloids discovered that Ryan was cheating on her then husband of 9 years, Dennis Quaid, with Crowe. The news of the affair broke and spread around the world. Dennis quickly filed for divorce. Meg fought back hard against the allegations that the divorce was entirely her fault, as she claims that Dennis was unfaithful to her multiple times during their relationship. While Meg and Crowe ended up calling it quits not long after they got together, the film that brought them closer in the first place bombed hard at the box office, proving that bad press isn't always good press. And at number 1, Jack Nicholson. Here's Johnny! Jack Nicholson is surely burned into your memory in some way, shape, or form. His turn as the Joker lives rent-free in my skull 24/7. From 1973 to 1990, Jack had an on-again, off-again relationship with Anjelica Huston, who you may know as Morticia Addams in the Addams Family movies, or perhaps her role as the head witch in the movie Witches. The relationship finally ended for good after Anjelica discovered that Jack was expecting a child with Rebecca Broussard, whom he would go on to star with in several projects. According to Anjelica herself, she confronted Jack on set following the news, essentially cornering him in a bathroom so that he wouldn't be able to get away from her. She wailed on Nicholson left and right, and she's quoted as claiming that there was no kicking, but the rest of the altercation made her feel like she was going up against a prize fighter. Jack was apparently very quick on his feet though, dodging shots left and right, and eventually Anjelica stormed off in a huff. Nicholson was only married to Rebecca for 4 years before they officially called it quits in 1994. Well, hopefully it was worth the savage beatdown brought upon by Anjelica Huston. Number 10. Joe Alwyn. Joe Alwyn made his big screen debut playing the titular character in Ang Lee's 2016 drama Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. The film tells the story of Billy, a private in the military who returns home and is praised as a hero, but through a series of flashbacks we learn what really happened during his time away from home. The movie received critical acclaim and Joe's career was kicked off. He co-starred in several other projects since then, but made paparazzi front page after rumors of his supposed cheating on Taylor Swift. Joe and Taylor spent 6 years together before calling it quits. With this being one of her longest relationships to date, we had to wonder what split them up. Rumor has it that they broke up because Joe was cheating on Taylor with his co-star of The Brutalist, Emma Laird. Emma posted a photo on Instagram with the caption "Moments in March" and just a little heart emoji. While there were plenty of pics in the album, the one that stuck out was the photo of Joe appearing to hop on a little electric scooter. No Taylor in sight and no explanation as to why they were together. The reaction from Swifties was so strong that Emma literally had to turn her comments off. Since news broke of the split between Alwyn and Swift, Emma has been spotted comforting Joe, only adding more fuel to the rumor fire. Number 9. Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney. Glenn and Sydney will be sharing a spot on this list as the situations they've put themselves in are pretty similar. You may know Glenn from his role in the recent Top Gun sequel Maverick, and you will recognize Sydney from the hit HBO series Euphoria. These two began filming a rom-com together in Australia earlier this year, and it turns out they got along really well. After being cast to play romantic interests in the film, the two spent so much time together that it would seem their chemistry had blossomed into a full-fledged romance. For a few months, photos of the pair kissing and cuddling both on and off set have been circulating online, and honestly, they're really cute together and they seem to have a genuine connection instead of some like PR forced relationship because they're in a movie together. Now that's too bad though, considering that they were both seeing someone before they met. Powell had been in a relationship with a woman named Gigi Paris for 3 years, and Sweeney was engaged to a businessman named Jonathan Davino, who she had been dating for 4 years. When they met on set, it was like they stepped into another dimension where their partners just didn't exist and they were free to be whoever they wanted to be. Of course, photos and rumors began swirling, and in April of this year, Gigi officially announced the end of her relationship to Powell after she discovered the rumors were true and they were in fact a couple. While they may have destroyed their already existing relationships, a new one is surely to rise from the ashes. Number 8. Liam Payne. You may recognize Liam as one of the fresh faces from the boy band One Direction. Although the band split up, each member has had their fair share of success, with Harry Styles and Zayn Malik being the most successful of the bunch. Unfortunately for Liam, his fanbase is still highly active, and they don't seem to have a full grasp on the concept of tagging people in posts. Recently, a fan page posted a pic of Liam with his arms wrapped around a woman and the caption, "Liam and Maya look so cute here." Maya is of course in reference to Maya Henry, a Victoria's Secret model and Liam's fiance at the time. Interestingly though, the woman in the photo was not Maya. In fact, Maya herself commented on the page that she loves the fans and appreciates their support, but please stop sending her photos of her fiance with his arms wrapped around another woman. Just hours after the photo was posted, the hashtag Liam Payne cheating was trending online. Finding out someone is cheating on you is hard enough, but having to learn that information via an Instagram post is beyond brutal. Maya decided to end the engagement with Liam to let him do whatever he was gonna do. Number 7. Will Smith. In 2015, Will Smith starred in a film called Focus, in which he plays a con man in the midst of his latest scheme when a woman from his past, played played by Margot Robbie, arrives and throws his plan for a loop. The timing of this film being made could not have been more perfect, as we now know that Will and his wife Jada were taking a break at that time. For Jada, this meant an entanglement with August Alsina, and for Will, this meant himself and Robbie were free to rehearse their scenes in private. It was confirmed that Margot and Will were seeing each other during production of Focus, and his wife was not happy about it. Despite being legally married in 1997, the institutionalized concept of tying the knot just never really sat with Jada, so apparently she only married Will because she became pregnant with Jaden and felt that it was the right move. Yeah, that's always a healthy way to start a marriage. Force. While Jada herself is also a cheater and has publicly admitted it, she has held a grudge towards Margot for 8 years with no signs of it stopping. Will and Jada are still together, but we can all agree that that relationship is the Titanic and there is an iceberg dead ahead. Number 6. Ashton Kutcher. In case that didn't unlock the MTV vault that is surely hidden deep within your memory, allow me to enlighten you. Ashton rose to fame following his successful role on the hit sitcom That 70s Show, as well as his time hosting the MTV prank series Punk'd. He married fellow actor Miss Demi Moore in 2005 and stayed married for nearly 8 years. The split seemed to come from nowhere. There was some speculation that Ashton ended things to be with his current wife Mila Kunis, but that speculation was revealed to be complete bull poo poo. In Demi's book titled Inside Out, she revealed that the cause of the split was actually due to Ashton's infidelity. Apparently, he cheated on her multiple times and pressured her into including a third party in their escapades. When Ashton found out about this news becoming public, he was royally upset. According to Ashton himself, he had finally gotten to a place where the media was leaving him and his family alone, and literally the next day following this news, paparazzi were waiting for him outside of his kid's school. Not only did his cheating ruin his relationship with Demi, but now it may be the cause of another separation between himself and Mila. Number 5. Tristan Thompson. Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson are two names you've certainly heard before when talking about famous breakups. The reality star and the basketball player first got together in 2016, and the media quickly began chronicling their romance. They were together for 2 long years, even having a child together during that time. The pair seemed to be in a healthy relationship, with Khloe constantly posting pictures of them together around the world. In 2018, video was leaked online of Tristan touching and kissing 2 women that were not Khloe. Despite the hard evidence of his misdeeds, Khloe ultimately chose to stay with Tristan and allow him to father their child properly. 10 months following the leak, the couple officially split after countless more accusations of infidelity arose. Khloe would get back together with Tristan one more time a year later, but the current status of these two are co-parents and nothing more. Not only did Tristan ruin his relationship with Khloe, but possibly his daughter as well. Number 4. Niall Horan. Recently, Hailee Steinfeld has begun to carve a path for herself in the filming industry, as she seems to be casted in new franchises left and right. She's popped up in the Pitch Perfect movies, Transformers, and is now a permanent member of the MCU as Kate Bishop. In 2017, the internet was taken by storm when it was announced that herself and former One Direction member Niall Horan were officially an item. People were so excited to see them together, as Niall was fresh off his split from One Direction and looking forward to his new solo career, and Hailee Steinfeld was becoming well known for her vocal skills after her role in Pitch Perfect 2. Unfortunately, the couple called it quits after only a few short months together, and this left many fans upset but curious as to the true nature of the split. Steinfeld confirmed in her song Wrong Direction that the split came as a result of Niall being unfaithful towards her. While she never actually points him out by name, the lyrics "I probably should have known, but I just wanted to believe you were out sleeping alone," along with the song literally being called Wrong Direction, are evidence enough to piece together who this thing's really about. Too bad for Niall, as not only does he miss out on dating Hailee Steinfeld, but his solo career did not go that well. Number 2. Tiger Woods. Since 1999, the famous golfer had not gone a single year without winning at least one golf major championship. In fact, between the years of 1997 and 2008, he won 14 majors. He was married to a model, he had a beautiful home and pockets full of cash. What more could he want? Well, apparently he wanted someone that was not his wife. In late November of 2009, Tiger was seen by neighbors being chased out of his home by his wife Ellen Nordegren with a golf club before peeling out of his driveway in his Escalade and crashing into a fire hydrant and then a tree. He lied unconscious on the street for 6 minutes before coming to, but by that time, it was already too late. News coverage began speculating that there may be a case of infidelity with Tiger and his wife. While the rumors were that Tiger may have had a mistress on the side, it turns out that this guy actually had a lady in every course, so to speak. He admitted on air to the misdoings and lost his endorsements with Nike, Gatorade, Gillette, and Accenture before announcing his retirement from golf entirely. Woods reportedly confessed to sleeping with 120 women outside of his marriage, but it wasn't until April 2010 when Ellen decided to split up with Woods for good after she discovered one of his mistresses was the next door neighbor's daughter who was in college at the time. Hey, go Kappa Nu! Number 2, Scott Disick. Keeping Up with the Kardashians is a historical series in the world of reality television. For over a decade, fans have been able to watch the family grow both literally and figuratively with the addition of friends, family, and in this case, lovers. Scott and Kourtney's story began where all fairy tale relationships begin, at a famous friend's house in Mexico. In 2006, the pair attended a mutual friend's party at his home in Mexico. A photo from that night shows the two sitting together but nowhere near each other. Now, Disick recounts liking Kourtney immediately, but she wanted nothing to do with him at first. But something must have changed in between A and B, as the two appeared as a couple on the series premiere of the reality show Keeping Up with the Kardashians in 2007. At first, the family was standoffish, claiming that Scott was immature and that his loyalty meant nothing. But Kris Jenner, Kourtney's mom, said in one episode that she knew Scott was cheating on her daughter, she just wasn't sure how to go about the situation. Disick denied the claims and reaffirmed his love for Kourtney until he could deny no longer, when sisters Kim and Khloe Kardashian found a series of text messages on an old phone that he had to someone named My Wife. The text revealed that he had cheated on her while the family was staying in the Hamptons. Kim was furious for like a second. A year later, she would announce that the pair were expecting their first child together, seemingly making the whole cheating ordeal water under the bridge. But it didn't stop. Over the years, the couple has split and healed over and over and over again, and one time, Scott Disick even entered rehab with the support of Kourtney, and he still cheated on her. In 2015, another round of allegations came out and they split again, only to get back together again, and then they split up again. As of today, they seem to have called it quits for good, but good God, does that sound like a complicated relationship. And number 1, Justin Bieber. Justin is one of those pop stars that you want to like, but sometimes he's just a little too chaotic for his own good. In his early days of fame, Bieber admitted in an interview that Disney Channel star Selena Gomez was his celebrity crush. Following the interview, their managers arranged for a little get-together for the pair, and the sparks were flying. At first, it seemed like Justin may be in the friend zone, but after a while, it was revealed that the two were in fact dating, and we couldn't have been more excited for them. Unfortunately, Justin was not as committed to the relationship as we might have hoped. Rumors began circulating that Justin was cheating on Selena with Rihanna. Yeah, that's right, that was a rumor. And while I'm pretty sure it wasn't Rihanna, like we can agree on that, it was confirmed that he was cheating with someone. When Selena found that out, the couple quickly split. They got back together and split up a couple more times after that, but their relationship just seemed to be getting worse and worse. So maybe these two finally calling it quits was best for everyone. And there you have it, those are the 10 celebrities that have destroyed their relationships after cheating.